I am Amir Afsar, everyone's favorite California licensed attorney. This is Afsar Law Group, and you're watching Unbillable. Oh, you know what we should talk about?
What?
Dude, I do not, like, the whole concept of I'll fight for you, like lawyers saying that to their clients. I feel like it's passé. I feel like it's old. It's time for a new thing to say. I'll fight for you is ridiculous. I mean, it's a famous one though. I gotta give credit where credit's due. It is famous. Because I think like Larry H. Parker, I believe, is like most commonly put together with that phrase, the phrase, I'll fight for you. But a lot of lawyers like, I'm gonna fight. I'll do whatever it takes. I don't know. We all do that. We all do whatever it takes. There's some level of competitive desire to win in every attorney. And unless they get burnt out, I guess I could see a situation where someone gets burnt out and then they become like totally over it. But not any busy practicing attorney. I mean, as much as I try to play the part of these are the client's cases and I'm just playing my part as an attorney, you always get involved. You always want to see a positive outcome. If you think the case is a bad one, especially in my position where I own my own practice, I just won't take it at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, even losing clients, cases that are losers, they need attorneys too, and so I kind of call that like controlling the burn. Like you have a forest fire, we want to burn as little as possible of our resources. So even losing cases need attorneys. Don't get me wrong. It's not about winning and losing like that. I just mean you adopt the position of your clients, especially when you think they're right. I think everybody does that. When I say everybody, I think that's like most lawyers. So the whole I'll fight for you thing sounds cheesy unless the lawyer really wants to like throw the gloves off and go at it outside, and that's not happening. I mean, I don't want to throw off the gloves either. I'm 5'5" and you know, a buck 65? Ring the bell, ding, ding, ding. Karla, what are you on, like week 3 now here?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I still need to learn something.
Are you coming back tomorrow, Karla? That's all what the people want to know.
I'm coming back tomorrow.
With some gentle care, Luis. I should be especially careful when it comes to the window coverings because these window coverings are courtesy of probably the desert's premier window covering company. That's right, Ivan's Blinds and More. If you're looking for window coverings for your office or home, contact Ivan's Blinds and More. And if you think this is a commercial, you're wrong. Those are my in-laws. This whole working for free thing is an ongoing discussion that doesn't seem to be going away. Right? Like whether or not you should work for free ever for anybody. And I just want to continue to pour my 2 cents in on this topic because I think it's crazy. And then I heard this incredible, and I wish I remember who said it. It was on a podcast. Anyways, I heard someone say that you as a student are willing to pay for school. You pay to go to college or university, right? Like you pay for that education. But then when you come out of school and you want a first job and generally you don't know much about what's going on, you expect to get paid and you want to get paid usually more than you're worth. You never question the structure of paying for school, right? But yet everybody seems to question the idea of paying or of doing work for free because they're not getting paid for that work. But like in school, you're not getting paid for that work either. But you look at it as you're learning something, so it's a worthwhile trade-off. You're giving money in exchange for learning the skill or the trait. And although I don't think you should necessarily go into the workplace and pay for the job, I mean, there are situations and scenarios where that would be a good deal. Like my boy Mark Geragos, right? Like he's a well-known attorney. He just did the Colin Kaepernick case with the NFL. I think he could teach me something. He probably could teach me how to make my law practice more lucrative. I would consider not just working for free for him, I would consider paying him for the opportunity to like shadow him in his law practice. I mean, Bill Gates. I don't know if Bill Gates can bring anything necessarily to me, but there's got to be some value in seeing the way he does things and operates. You know, anybody that's kind of, let's just use the phrase, ahead of you in the food chain, you probably could learn from. Yet when it comes to like your own job, you're like, I don't do work for free. My time is valuable. If your time was that valuable though, people would be willing to pay you for it. So if you find yourself with like any amount of free time, because like you can even have a lucrative business, a business that's doing okay, and if you're willing to do something for free for someone that can level everything up, it is so worth it. To me, it's just an ongoing discussion of short-sightedness versus the long game. Because like, I was a lawyer. I had probably been practicing about 7 or 8 years when I just point blank told, at the time, a prospective client, just pay me whatever you think it's worth. Let's see what happens. It's like, I think there's value in that. And I really think when you juxtapose, when you compare this to the whole school idea that we pay money for school, especially right now, it's like a hot topic about how expensive college and university education is and whether it's even worth it anymore. If you really think about that, I think the university experience is totally worth it. I think costs are getting out of control. And then I flip it back and think you could get experience working for someone. Even if it was for free, you're still doing better than spending money on school. See what I'm saying? Like your out-of-pocket is just time. And if you have that time, it's not really costing you anything. And if you're really as good at what you do as you say you are, it will all work out in the end because the person that you work for free for won't want to lose your services, and then you've proven your time is worth that money, and then you have a paying client. And I know we've touched on this before on the vlog, but it keeps coming up and I keep hearing it. Don't be short-sighted. What's going to happen if you do some work for free and you don't get paid? Nothing. You're going to lose like very little. I mean, if it's a massive project, you could lose a little more, but don't do anything crazy, right? Like only gamble with something you're willing to lose, right? So, yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere. Sorry about that. I've just been thinking about that for days, though. It's been coming up on other vlogs that I watch and podcasts I listen to and things like that. I don't know the name of it, but real quick, shout out my boy KidDangerous, Steve Nannino. He just did a podcast talking about like how his clothing brand KidDangerous came to be. It was pretty interesting. And just frankly, it's kind of cool to hear a friend of mine give his background story. And of course, KidDangerous makes our Unbillable shirts, so I'm always down to shout out my friends at KidDangerous. And if you want a shirt, put it in the comments below. If you have something to say to me, if you think working for free is stupid, put it in the comments below. You're wrong, put it in the comments below. Don't be afraid. Like this video, you always gotta like the video. And of course, not for me, but for Luis, subscribe, hit the little bell, he would really appreciate it. And yeah, man, that's it. With that, you'll see us and we'll see you on the next episode of Unbillable. Woo!